some visual signaling or cause, I don't think, among corals at least, any type of a, I don't know how to put this. I'll just leave it as we just think it's just whatever, again, whatever molecules are in the animal's body, that's how they're reflecting the light. But who knows? Maybe there is some function. I can't imagine what that would be, but there could be some function.
Thank you.
See in the Argus view, another synaptobranchid eel, just past another Proisocrinus crinoid.
And maybe, well, there's the fish.
Yeah.
On Argus view, the fish and the sponge.
Like we might be getting into a little more consolidated substrate here. It's another, this is Iridogorgia bella because of the tight coils and the fact that the branches appear to only exist at the tip of the stalk. That was a perfect view, a side view of that guy. Sometimes you can't tell when you look it straight down at him.
Can you get some shots of that, Kainalu? Yeah. Thanks.
Well, we're moving. Right, these are snap zooms.
Snap zooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Connor Johnson weighs in regarding the coloration and that comments that particularly the crinoids, they're such ancient organisms, it's possible that the coloration may be left over from when they lived at shallower depths.
That's a good point. Thank you, Connor. Yeah, maybe it did have a function at some point, but perhaps no longer. These are pretty cool crinoids because right underneath the arms on it, they've got some, I think they're sort of rudimentary cirri that helps with the identification of this thing. Plus they have a very angular stalk. That is an umbellapathes. That's a black coral we just passed over.
I also note that since red is the first kind of spectrum absorbed as you go into the water column, red animals and black animals pretty much appear. They absorb all the light's absorbed, so they appear black. Might be harder to see.
Right. But again, that's if there was some at least a minimum amount of ambient light, and it's just zip down here.
Oh, that's a cool urchin.
Yeah, that was urchin. Well, now things are picking up. Now that we're getting over, perhaps we are going to get into some area that we might find some good stuff.
There's one of those beautiful pink squat lobsters on top of that black coral.
So you're seeing two potential different colored morphs of the same thing. It's Bathypathes. Whether or not that's Bathypathes conferta, I'm not sure. Right next to an Iridogorgia. That was a really pretty little scene right there.
Is that the same one we collected before with the squat lobster on it? Two days ago?
No, that one was a branched, it's either a telepathes or a branched Bathypathes. It's a little questionable right now. We were talking to Jeremy Horowitz, who knows more about black corals certainly than I do. Oh, that's a Cerianthid. So that's a tube anemone.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any of those.
No.
Bridge nav, another 50 meters, 098.
Sure seems like the rocks are picking up.
That's a beautiful one.
Did I hear somebody say pick up rocks?
No, sorry. We will, but I want to make sure we're out of. Yeah, no. I want to make sure we're out of the altered zone.
Yeah.
As Andrea would
Branch
describe
bamboo.
It. Yeah.
There's a nice one, Trevor. Right there, left of center, that giant thing. You can get it, right?
We can get anything.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
It's because you're You're not driving Herc, right? You're on Argus. So you
I got the arm.
That was a sponge. There's another Seriantid or tube anemone in the lower left corner.
Aaron, are we going to 1402? Or where are we headed?
What was that?
Are we going to the 1402 target?
Yeah. And then, I don't know. So when we get, as we're getting closer to that, Chris, do you want the ship, do you want Argus and her drug over that? Or do you want us to start making the trajectory up towards the top where they might end up missing that, but they'll start being pulled up slope?
I think let's run along the edge there for a little while. Yeah, that's exactly how you do it.
Like there, okay.
Yeah, I have a feeling the top's going to be kind of similar to what we're seeing right now.
Okay.
So
for that, let's step down to 0.3 knots.
Okay, roger.
Once this move's finished, I guess.
Oh, it's a big move. Do you want me to call it in, or you want to wait? We still got 45 meters left in it.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'll wait for the next
Get the
one.
transmit the ship on the point.
All right.
So another question for our ROV pilots.
Go
Does
ahead.
Hercules always trail behind Argus? What is the preferred orientation?
Hercules ideally never trails behind Argus. Right now you can see it leading the way, and that's usually the way we try to do it. That gives us time to zoom in on things, as well as prepare for cliff walls, etc. So I try to have Hercules stretched out in front of Argus at all times.
Thank you.
The bamboo, one of these sparse branching bamboos. Family Keratoicidinae. Potentially a primnoid down there. I'm just calling some things out, like we mentioned earlier. We're moving at a fast pace, so to try to get into a better substrate, which we're starting to get into slowly but surely. And then once we think we're out of the sparse zone, then we're going to go ahead and slow down and start doing some close-ups and looking for things. If you've got a second pilot, if you could zoom that leggy coral that's right in front of us, but if not, no problem.
Leggy coral at the bottom, yeah.
Yeah, that one right there. I think it's going to be a bamboo, but
It has a black curly stalk.
yes, this is indeed, this is Acanella weberi. So you can sort of tell that, I mean, obviously it's a little bit of a guess since we don't have a specimen, but they typically branch a bunch of branches right, or a whirl of branches right close to the base, which is what this guy is doing.
Damn, Chris, your cerebrally loaded ID guides fire on all cylinders this morning. Very impressed.
Which is remarkable.
Thanks,
I thought the coffee was a little weak this morning, so I don't know why. Maybe that helps.
Maybe being
All right,
over
pilots, I'm
caffeinated
gonna
is
call
not as good for your
in,
memory.
110, 0.3. Still 50 meters. Happy with that? Okay.
Sure.
Bridge nav.
Ooh, look at that. Oh, that's the same one we saw
Yeah,
before. A
same
little.
Can we get a
Right
50
cap.
meter step, 110, transfer speed 0.3
Oh, yeah.
knots?
Here we go.
Oh,
Here we
wow.
go.
Yeah. Okay.
Life.
All of these are Acanella weberi.
I think so.
A little squat lobster in the Iridogorgidae, or is that brittle star?
Still pretty bouldery right here, but maybe we'll consider after this next ship move. We'll think about slowing down a bit since we are getting some things.
Tunicate.
Roger. We did reduce the transfer speed, but we're still pretty laid back, so that won't mean much for you right now.
Yeah, that's fine. They're not quite at that really sharp ledge that we were aiming for anyway soon. But it is a good sign. Things are picking up.
Navigator Aaron, I think
Little
we have a
sponge,
question
Chris.
for you.
That's
Which Aaron?
In navigation.
Go ahead.
Does the team take any precautions to limit the impact of the sonar mapping or on any cetaceans in the area?
Oh, yeah, always, for sure. The bridge is been given directions to make sure and keep an eye out for any nearby cetaceans, and they will let us know if any are in the area. And every time we start the sonar, we start it in a really low power ramp up mode. So we ping really, really low power for quite a while, and then come up in power to max power. So we're kind of following the protocols that were given to us by NOAA and the sanctuaries to be able to do the science, but also be very careful in the monument.
Thank you.
Some bed forms. Emil and Andrea are very interested in these bed forms because they think at least certain types of these, and I'm talking bed forms, I'm talking about the ripples on the sea, on the sand. They may be evidence of internal tides actually making it down this deep. Wow, where are our rocks going? Looking in Argus.
Are those?
There they are.
So right now Antonella is looking at 132, kind of up the slope. So that would be the direction for those rocky beds, if you're interested.
Okay. Let's just go a little bit further along this track.
Okay.
But it's definitely improving. And then, yeah, maybe when we finish this ship move, we can go ahead and start slowing down to a more regular pace and start looking at things, because now we are getting things to look at.
Okay.
Thank you.
So pilots, there's 20 meters left in this move. I think maybe we should just let the layback settle in a little bit and then start moving up.
Sounds great. What is that? I guess it's just sediment. It is. There goes a fish.
One of our viewers says, I always think the ocean floor is creepy. Now that I see it, not so creepy.
Not so creepy at all.
Especially with those beautiful colors of corals and other animals.
Yeah. Could we pan right just a little bit, pilot? Looks like we've got some bigger things on these boulders here to just take a quick look at. Yeah, so that's the type of terrain we're trying to get up into, more of this type of consolidated terrain. For obvious reasons, there's more things growing on it.
And Calvin from Bountiful, Utah asks, do you guys think this environment has changed much since it was formed, or has it stayed relatively consistent?
Well, there's clearly a lot of wasting that's happened since the volcano stopped erupting here. You can see a lot of talus on the slopes and broken rock and things like that. So if he's referring to that, yeah. These are seamounts, these sort of southern ones that never reached the surface. So they have less alteration than ones that have reached the surface. And by that I mean ones that reach the surface have a flat top that was eroded away, and there's coral growth and so forth. There's going to be carbonate on top. This is probably all basalt. I think it ever came close to the surface. So whatever alterations occurred in terms of erosion or flank failures or things like that occurred at depth. It wasn't subaerial type of processes.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Calvin, and thank you for the answer, Chris.
But a lot can happen
Or,
in 70 or so million years, right? We had changing heights of the ocean several times, up to 100 meters. Certainly wouldn't have affected this, but it doesn't mean that changing acidity, ocean changed acidity quite a bit over that period of time, but not direct impacts to these areas at depth. But I'm sure the community's changed.
yeah, thank you for those additions,
Ooh,
Andy.
an eel. Is that an eel in the water column?
Yes, I think so. If we could zoom in on the seal, this could be rather unusual if it's possible to do that. In fact, I know it is.
Humpback eel.
No, this is it's very cool. I got to remember the name of this thing. Yep.
Oh, wow. Look at
It's
that
a-
narrow head.
It's a netastomatid. It's
That's what I was going to say.
shucks. It's a duckbill eel is the common name for the family.
Duckbill eel.
You don't see them very often. That's why I can't remember his name right off the bat, but I'll find it. Yeah, so
Very slender.
they're really beautiful, really weird,
Halosauridae, is that one of those?
really weird eels. I wonder if we can zoom on the head. That would be great.
Oh, is it this guy? No.
Oh.
Oh, he's got his little tongue sticking out.
Yeah. So this is potentially Fasciolella in the netastomatids, the family Netastomatidae.
Thank you.
Fasciolella.
That's a pretty cool observation. They're not that common. Coming across them is a pretty rare event, actually. So
Are they always or generally hanging out up in the water column like that as opposed to the other ones that are kind of close to the surface? Is that
yeah,
partial characteristic?
yeah, the ones I've ever seen, they're further up.
Mhm.
So are we able to take a look near the bottom at this point? Are we still moving a little bit?
We're moving pretty fast still. We're letting the ship settle out after this move, but
Okay,
we're still laid back.
sure, thank you.
So again, if you are just joining us, those lasers are 10 centimeters apart and equidistant along their entire length. So you can determine how big animals are, or rocks, or anything.
Another question for our pilots. Are pilots trained on both Argus and Herc, or do you only train on one vehicle?
We're cross-training right now. Yeah, we just start with Argus, then you sit Herc for a while and get used to it, and then go back and forth as required.
Connor's asking, is a snipe eel? Thinks, is it snipe eel, he asks.
No, it's not a snipe eel. Well, I don't think that's the common name for what we're saying. It's a duckbill eel, Connor.
Quack, quack.
That was Andy, by the way, just so we're clear.
You don't want to own that one?
No,
Oh, did you?
that was Andy again.
There was something in between the rock there that looked vaguely.
I
won't
think we
say
have a
it.
question for Andy now.
Quack, quack, yes.
Have you encountered any internal waves at depth on this dive?
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out. It's we have these chats in the lounge at the early part of the cruise, and that's where the scientists get to share their expertise with us and talk about things. And our chief scientist, our lead scientist for this expedition leader, Emil Petruccio, he was talking about these things called internal waves because his doctoral thesis was in that, and he's looked at that. And what these are essentially well, it's not like tides. It's the movement of dense water up and down, can be as much as a few hundred meters. And these are generated off of ridge features and things like that, where kind of the currents impact them and reverberate off of like the Hawaiian Ridge. And they may radiate it out from these features at depth and impact some of these seamounts, so we can get some more water movement on these seamounts at several hundred meters or 1,000 meters depth. So essentially dense water moving up and down at depth. And so we've been trying to figure that out because throughout this dive we've observed some neat patterns in the sediment that appear to show that there is not only current flow at this depth, but also these internal waves moving water around, and that shows itself in a different pattern in the sand. And so we've taken pictures, a bunch of those. We've had a lot of discussions about them. Chris has even used some of this knowledge to choose some of the sites that we've been potentially going to, but we don't have current modelers at this depth, so it's hard to say if it is going on, to what degree it's going on, but we think it is. That's the theory anyway. And so I think we're going to try to look at that more in the future, and we did take a lot of imagery of these sediment aggregations to see if that's what's going on. I don't know, Chris, if you want to add anything else to that.
I want to add something about this coral.
Oh, it's branching from nodes. Look at that. It's a nodal brancher.
So this is a bamboo coral in a group that's called I4, and I stands for Isidella, or what they believe is that genus. And we've seen this before, and we've imaged them pretty before, but they're just such magnificent corals. It's kind of nice to see them. I've seen a lot of these. So that's very nice. How about now? Are we able to go down a little bit closer, or are we still being pulled by the ship a little bit?
Can you hear Chris?
Excuse me?
I don't think she can hear you.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, can you say
No,
again?
just seeing, are we settled enough to take a look at the seafloor a little more closely, or are we still?
Yeah, we're pretty close. You're only laid back like 30 meters, so.
Okay, well, one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to get another look at that sort of bushy, thin branched bamboo and try to see where the branching is occurring from. And there's one coming up right now. It's a little bit.
We're going to move up slope a bit first there, Chris, and we'll look for the next one.
Great. There are a lot of them, so yeah, we'll no doubt see plenty more of them.
So I don't know, Aphrodite, if that answers the question. Sorry. Talking about internal waves at 4:50 in the morning is a little challenging for me.
No, I think I followed. Thank you. Thank you for that answer.
In all honesty, it is a completely new concept to me, and I am struggling to wrap my brain around it. But we don't have a lot of instruments deployed in these deep sea areas, and that's how you get to really understand things like that, aside from those physical observations of ripples in the sand.
Yeah.
And those are hard to. Yay, sponge!
That's a weirdie.
That is a weirdie.
It's Poliopica. I think we're seeing it sideways. That's why it looks so skinny.
Oh, it's laid over side. It's one of those recliner chairs.
Yeah.
Looks like a Barney Rubble kind of
wow.
sponge.
We have all these words: weirdy, leggy, bendy, curly.
Guacamole.
How's the current up here pilot?
It's non-zero. I don't think it's super spicy, but it exists.
Is it non-directional too, or can you tell the direction?
It's
down
going
south.
north.
Going north, so coming from the south.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's plus minus 40 degrees, but
Sponge looks a
something
little
like that.
decayed.
Okay,
Top.
thank you. Sponge is a polyopogon, and there's a little Victorgorgia, the purple guy that's down below it. This is this is not Iridogorgia bella, the one right above the lasers. This is Iridogorgia magnispiralis. You can see the branches extend further down the stalk.
So how many types of Iridogorgias are there?
There's a bunch of them. Could be a little Narella down below. Oh, look at this. Oh, it's just a couple. But what I would like, if this is a good time, we'll start to zoom in on some of these things.
Totally.
Okay.
I see a lot of stalks of corals.
How about this guy right there, if it's possible to take a look at that? What I'm specifically looking at is right at this base and see where the whirl of branches is coming out, and whether it's coming out of the node or the inner node.
Node and inner node. So these bamboos, they have these keratin nodal inner segment, like a bamboo, but along the segment there are these keratin pieces that differentiate the branching. And so we're looking at whether it branches right from one of those nodes or whether it in between internodal,
Nice.
nodal.
Go a little bit tighter, thank you. And down just a bit, if possible.
It's hard to see on this
Yeah,
one.
the
You can't see
joints,
the nodes so easily.
Yeah, the nodes are a little bit calcified on this guy, so they're a little bit difficult. Well, you poophead, you should be showing your nodes a little more clearly. It's not nice.
Not nice.
Okay, thank you. That's not gonna, we'll try another one that maybe is not quite so calcified over its nodes.
All right, we are very much pretty thoroughly settled out. So Antonella is facing upslope, but you want to keep moving contour parallel?
Yeah, I think so, just nice and slowly, because we're very close to where it's flattening out, I think.
Okay, yeah, we'll keep the moves small and slow.
Yeah,
Did you just call a coral a poop head?
He did.
No, that was Andy.
You're not going to own it?
He
No,
told
I'm
it
not.
it wasn't following the deep sea dress code of exposing your nodes, is what he said.
I'm concerned about the back row.
As you should be.
They're concerned about us. So.
It's still sub 5 o'clock.
You only have that excuse for 4 more minutes.
All right, we're
Well,
gonna
then it gets to sub 6
doing some
o'clock.
like
It's a different
125-ish moves.
125.
Ooh, what's that, Chris?
To keep contour
Lower,
parallel.
left
but
to center,
you
lower.
Probably want to look up slope as much as you can in
yeah.
those moves.
That's
Bridge nav.
unique.
Can I get a 20 meter step 125? Keep the transfer speed at 0.3.
Are
Have we
we
seen
able?
that one before?
Yeah, that's Umbellapathes, the black coral. I still want to try some of these little leggy bamboos. I'm sure one of them is exposing its nodes.
Oh, sorry, Bridge, can you make that 125?
Yeah, find us one that's not a leggy poop head, okay?
No,
Thank you.
might be one over here that we got a nice side view of it that possibly we could do if we could keep that side view a little bit. Right there is what I'm talking about.
It's a little sponge behind it, too.
If you want.
So now we have to go from lightning speed to like turtle
Crawl.
speed.
Yeah.
It's
But this is a good place to
an
crawl.
adjustment. Yeah.
I know, I understand. It's like another Victor Gorgia over there to the bottom left, too.
She's just positioning herself for the coral.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This might give us a better view.
Oh, nodes are obvious.
Yeah, and if we can...
I can see some nodes off to the right side there. Looks like it's branching from the nodes.
Yeah, if we could pan over just a little bit more to the right, that would be great. And down a little bit. A little bit more, right there.
Yep, nodal brancher.
Yeah, so Acanella is in the nodal branching set of bamboo corals, so that's very informative. This is indeed, I believe, Acanella weberi, so the ID was correct. That's very good. Nice shot, Antonella. That definitely helps.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice. So probably all of these kind of bushy corals there are going to be Acanella weberi, and I don't think we've been in sort of a stand of those before on this cruise, so this is good to know. What I'm wondering is we do have enough corals around here. It might be worth taking a Niskin sample for Meredith Everett, if this is a good time.
Okay, how's that ship move? Is it finished?
It's finished. Yep.
Okay, cool. So let's just get upslope a little bit, and then we'll do a Niskin.
Great, thank you.
Zoomed in.
Sorry. Is that bad for you? Okay. You exploded.
There was one of those little fish.
I didn't
so
see
yellow.
It was one of those pink little ball fish. I don't know what it was called.
What's
the
with
pink
that
little
yellow,
ball
white
fish.
transition?
Yeah.
You mean the
Oh,
Chanacops?
The anglerfish, Chanacops.
Yep, that's exactly what I meant.
I knew that.
Nice.
I just wanted to join your party of calling things different descriptive names.
Well, that's what you do. If we're not really sure, we try to give it a name that's descriptive so everybody has a mental picture. So that is actually very good. Kind of knew exactly what you're talking about. This guy may be in the S-clade. I'm pretty sure that yellow color is not a result of zoanthids grown over, and he's got a lot of bare stems, and the reason for that is right to the left. This evil sea star has been chowing down on him, and it's taken out at probably half of that coral already. It just everts its stomach and just sucks off all the tissue. So they're not really evil, they're just, that's what they do. A little, what's that one, Trevor? That red one.
What one?
That red one, I don't know what that is. What is that?
Oh, I think it's a cotton candy coral.
Okay, well, I'll chew on that ID for a little while. Har, 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 har.
Jeez.
That was a...
It's too early for that.
That joke's a lot to swallow.
Oh, no.
That's a
No.
bubblegum coral for all those who are listening to these terrible jokes.
Oh, 3 more hours. Oh my God.
I'm in pain.
That's a Metallogorgia, the one that's on the bottom of the screen.
What's that?
Barnacles.
Yeah, we got
Maybe
some,
one more little step. A couple herc lengths.
And so from Muddy, the Netherlands, we get a comment. I really enjoy this mission. Chris is amazing to listen to.
I'm not sure the front row would agree with you after that joke.
That's why I said it. No, but
Alright,
no,
good
this
there.
is what they say. Hope to see you
Can you rack
all
the
back
camera
in
in, please?
2022.
Yep. We all hope to be
And you
here.
can follow the arm around.
All right, we're getting ready for
That
that
one, yeah.
Niskin, Chris.
Great,
And
thank you.
you have Niskin 6, 5, or 3 open.
I love how
Copy.
there's just random. I'm going to do 3.
Okay.
Can you follow the arm over to the Niskins, please? No. There's 3.
Great, thank you. And we
So
got some
Walterii
stuff up here too, yeah.
Glass sponge.
All right, you can line yourself up. I got it with bubble here.
And that was sample number 165.
165.
Yes.
Thank you.
Could we look at this bifurcating coral if you get a chance? This is kind of a weird sort of configuration for a bamboo. I'm sort of interested in knowing, is it 2 of them that settled out, unbranched, or this really is bifurcating that close to the base? That's odd for these things. I think it's
Okay, for a little ship move? Or you want to hang out here?
I'd like to hang out here for a little bit if we could.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of stuff just to our left too after this. Take a look at. The other thing too is this might be an area where we could get a higher quality rock for Andrea.
Roger.
Good looking rock we could get. Yeah. High quality.
That was very nice pirouette around
Nice, yeah,
this
nice
thing.
spin there.
Yeah.
Looks like one side's been eaten, the other side has not been.
Yeah, and
Am I seeing that right?
it looks like it's an internodal brancher. It looks like the branch is coming off the white part, not the black bands. That's weird. I just don't know very many.
Yeah, I've got quite a bit.
Yeah, that's. Huh. Okay. We'll be on the lookout to see whether it's just a fluke or whether there's more of these. Maybe it's some odd thing that does branch like that. Okay, thank you. And let's look for a rock.
You can extend your camera again too. Yeah, is that all the way? There you go.
Another viewer is
Looks like some
wondering.
rocks.
Oh.
There is a big branching coral off to the right here that would probably be worth taking a look at. I don't think it's the, well, maybe it is just another Acanella, I guess.
Acanella, that means it just sings with its voice?
What was that? Excuse me?
Nothing.
Okay.
It was another terrible joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
You two need to really reel it in.
We have a question for the pilots. Is there a delay in response between control station and ROV, given this depth?
I mean, the depth is unrelated because it's always the same like the cable. But yes, there is a delay, probably half a second maybe. Maybe, yeah, half a second kind of thing. Quarter second, I don't know, something like that.
Well, does that affect the impact? Does that impact piloting? Never mind. Thank you for the answer.
Could we take a look at that guy right there to see if it's possibly sampleable?
We're looking at the rock?
Yeah, I'm on a rock hunt right now, even
Rock
though I
hunt.
was calling. We're in an area that's pillowy. At least some areas, some of these features look pillowy to me, so we might have a chance of getting a decent rock. Or even this one 20%. Here looks a little flat, but or if you see one that's chunky too.
Sorry, one more time there, Chris. We were just looking at something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not sure that's a good one, but we're looking for a chunky monkey.
What about in that kind of lower right corner there?
Lower right corner, yeah, there might be something like that.
It's like all sorts of maybes.
Or even this one, if it's not too big. We're looking for something. Oh, how about this square one right there? Would that be possible? Rectangular one, I mean. Or the mega rock.
Mega rock.
Oh, look at that
the mega
guy.
rock's a great size. Yeah.
Oh, let's go for that one.
Yeah, that's probably 20 centimeters. It's not so big.
Yeah, let's go for chunky.
Okay.
Oh, that sea star.
Sorry, that might have been me.
Better
It was up a little high. All right, I came down a bunch. I was really high up. I'm lower. You can tip your camera down too. That's probably messing you up.
Connor's weighing in on the rock choice here, Chris.
Oh, and what does he think?
Saying that Andrea was looking for ones with potentially some of the columnar basalt features, or if you can see the internal structures of the pillow.
Well, I'm looking for a coral that's a brand new family too, so we can always want them, but I don't know if we're going to see columnar basalt up here. That's a stretch. But we're going to go ahead.
Because you landed on a rock, and if you land on a rock, it's just going to move any which way. So you got to play with your inputs when you land and make sure you're holding it just right. So whenever I land and wiggle it until I think it's stable. I hit stick lock, then I just sit for 5 to 10 seconds and see if it actually stays. Usually it doesn't, and you do it again. You're going to need some vertical down. You might need some horizontal. And if you're really struggling, you can hit auto heading. It's hard to keep your right stick inputs and hit stick lock at the same time, but you end up growing another finger for it.
Or you can ask me to push a button for you.
Yeah, totally. Nice, good work. Looks good. Very small movements. Nope, looks solid. Okay, cool. Can I see the arm, please?
Yes, it's free. Does it feel heavy, pilot? Can you tell?
Oh, I'm struggling. Sore from the gym. All right, zoom in, please. Actually, zoom out again. Can you line up the camera a little more square? We'll get it more into the light pool, kind of up here. All right, zoom in there, please.
Connor is typing. He said they saw the columnar basalt features a little bit earlier, but not the full columns.
I see.
He's asking us to try and crush it if we can.
I mean, I don't know what that means. With our rock crusher 4000, like.
Is it?
Yeah, we're going to keep it. So let's go ahead and put it in the box.
Okay.
Yeah, I know,
You can
Connor,
change my
I've been
cameras
collecting rocks for quite a while, and I know all of the tricks, but, you know, if we see some columnar basalt, we'll certainly try to get some pieces of that, but I haven't seen any along this particular transect so far.
Yeah, and if you don't mind,
give me,
Connor, for the
whatever
audience,
it's called, yeah.
If you can give a short paragraph descriptor of the dating technique that will be used. I know it's argon isotopes, but if you can help out with that, I'd like to describe that for the
box
audience.
out. Actually, stand by. Is there anything floaty in this box?
Nothing floaty.
Thank you. Go ahead and open it.
Oh, that's
Have they
running away.
collected anything so far, or is it?
Yeah, they have cobbles in A and B, and then everything else is open.
Okay, so no biology yet.
No. They have a bamboo coral in the slurp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. Interesting.
Is there something else in there?
No, it should be empty.
Yeah, it's empty. It's just big.
Yeah.
Maybe it won't go in one of these boxes. I think it will, though.
As long as we don't keep the lid ajar. So
yeah.
Who knows, maybe we'll have some luck and get that sea star again that crawled out the other day.
What did it look like?
It was a solasterid. It's a sun star, so it had a lot of arms. It actually looked just like if you were to draw a picture, a cartoon of the sun. That's what he looked like.
Oh, sounds really cool.
Well, I'm going to say that doesn't fit.
And Chris, how do we know which rocks to collect?
Oh, it's always a guess, because you can't really...
It's not going to fit, is it?
Hammer it in.
All right, fine. Foxtrot, fine.
Foxtrot.
A valiant effort.
What if I just stuff it more?
Deep sea Tetris.
I guess you could call it a sort of a spontaneous pressure check. You know, trying to force it into the box means it's fairly rigorous.
And the box did not
Especially
crush.
a rock.
Yeah, it did not crush. Thank you.
Yeah, weren't people asking me to test to see if the box would crush? Excuse me, Coral. Unwind yourself from me. There we go.
And that was sample 166.
Roger, 166. Thank you.
Yeah. I gotta stow that arm again once we're off the bottom. There's a rock in the way. I'll just keep bubble on it for now. Stow it once you take off.
So we see a lot of coordination here between the pilots and of course with the other team members. Does one person control the cameras and another person control the arm? How does that work? Antonella and Trevor?
We got all sorts of people controlling all sorts of things. Aaron at video controls the focus, zoom, iris of the cameras. We control the position, we the pilots being, control the position of the cameras, and then the pilots also control the arm. And we kind of trade around who does what, depending on the situation.
Thank you.
I really like when you guys do the dual coordinated, one person on the arm, one person flying. It's very, very cool. Good teamwork. All right, Science, what do you desire?
So we can sort of slowly cruise through this area. I'd like to, we're at kind of a steep part on the side of the. Let's zoom in on this crinoid on the arm. If we could, the xenometrid. That's this guy right here. Seen these before.
Ooh, that was a good eve.
It's on this sort of S1, this yellow bamboo coral, which are always really pretty. Where S1 refers to the particular clade, if you will, that the coral's in.
So those bare apex arms is an indicator, is a diagnostic, right?
Yeah, that's one of the diagnostics, and the other diagnostic is it has a prehensile cirri that allow it to wrap itself around this branch. As you can see, it's got multiple wraps. So not all crinoids can do that. You see how he's wrapped on the branch? That's what's called prehensile.
The colors are incredible.
They
I
are
love
really,
that one.
yeah, really incredible against the yellow coral too.
Mm-hmm.
Just gorgeous.
Crinoid chandelier.
That's good.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
now that's
looks-
going to stick in my brain every time I see these
So
things.
pretty.
Yeah, it looks very elegant.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got a variety of bamboos here already. I think we got 3 or 4 different species that we've seen just in our opening of our watch. And I guess we could move up a little bit, move up slope just very slowly. And
All right, roger that. Move up slope.
okay, thank you. That's Bella. This is a really nice side view of an Iridogorgia bella, not only showing the tight coils, but also the fact the branches are right at the end of the stalk rather than all the way down the stalk.
You,
almost a-
turn a little bit port. I just want to get a good heading on up slope. Yeah, I think you, sorry, Antonella, you.
Yeah.
Person.
You there.
Yeah.
That looks upslopey.
Yeah.
That's 160. All right, here we go. Bridge nav. Can we get a 20 meter step 160?
Nice twirly zoom.
Yeah. It's just a really nice perspective to really clearly show the morphology of this particular Iridogorgia.
Is it the Bella?
This is Bella. You can see how tight the coils are, where Magnospiralis, Iridogorgia magnospiralis is descriptive of the fact that its coils are much larger and not quite so tight.
Are you going upslope?
Is that cool
Yeah,
with you?
maybe an angling
Yeah.
upslope would be nice. Creep up there and looks like a Walteria sponge, I think. That's to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is.
Beautiful.
Do a snap zoom on it if we're passing that way. I'm pretty sure this is something that we call the Walteria CF Lucardi.
So what's the name for the arms, for the extensions?
These are lateralia.
And do they collect?
They
filter?
potentially collect things, and they also tend to have hydroids on them. So if you
Yeah.
grab one of those with your bare hands, you're going to get stung.
So that would help the sponge if the hydroid like stuns its whatever lands on it, then the sponge has more time to digest it.
Yeah, well, I think it's perhaps more protective. That makes it a little more unpalatable to potential predators of that sponge. But
Who might be eating those corals? There are so many bare branches now.
Sea stars.
yeah, I really only know of one type of, it'd be a sea star, and I only know of one called pythonester that might eat corals, but that's about it. There's not very many things that are specialized to eat a weird animal like
There's
a sponge.
one right there.
This is on
Predation.
bamboo. We could take a look at this because you might actually get a good shot showing the everted stomach on this. There.
It looks pretty fat.
Yeah.
What was our bearing on this move?
That was 160. I think I'm going to bring it a little closer to 200.
Roger.
The next one is
I'm looking pretty far left then.
Okay.
So to me, I don't see the stomach everted, but he's on sort of a bare patch that he's already consumed. So he may be slowly crawling along to get to another area where polyps are present before he everts his stomach again. Thank you.
Oh,
And that's going to be, I think, Evoplosoma is the name of the sea star.
Evil.
Yeah.
Trevor, do you want me to pull Argus more over Herc, or you want Herc to come?
No, we'll move Herc to Argus.
Okay.
I think that's a different bamboo from one we've seen so far.
Let's leave that bamboo for now. Let's go more upslope for a bit.
Okay.
Ship is pretty much done moving, so we can settle back in. Get oriented.
So I'm looking too far left right now. So as you come around, I'll follow you around. But you want to get, again, look at ROV nav where you want to be? Totally, yeah.
Ah, there's a big black coral right there in
Yeah.
the center.
I love that
Probably
color.
Chrysopathes, I think.
Deep burnt orange. There's a lot of
So you want to be
predation going on
225
down
bearing.
here.
You see why I picked that? That's just looking at the nav screen. Exactly. Exactly.
There's a few of these Walterii that look okay, but they're downed. Second one we've seen.
Yeah, so sometimes these corals like to hang out right on the edge and then they sort of peter out as we get toward the center, which is why we're sort of toward the edge, but we're going to check that out. Certainly we're still getting animals right now, and there's quite the large bamboo colony here.
Hey, Chris, if we miss something you say, just give a shout, because we are doing some cross-training and stuff up here too, so we might miss something.
Is it possible to zoom that large coral?
Wow, look at that.
it's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
But I wonder if we can get the large bamboo first
Victorgorgia.
and then maybe zoom the Victorgorgia for a money shot.
Money shot.
Again, we're very
Like
interested in
shot.
branch points, so we can get whatever the close-up is, if it includes a branch point, that would be great.
You're always giving us these difficult angles. Silly bamboo corals. What are they thinking?
I
Can I
know,
come
such
upslope at
backseat
it
drivers,
and then look back? Because I think that'll...
Don't think you'll have much luck with that
Okay.
because you'll end up landing on the cow catcher
Gotcha, okay.
and the porch will be 6 feet in the air.
Their cows done?
Then, Aaron, can you zoom in on the center?
Well, Andy, we haven't caught any yet, so I guess not.
Nodal.
Is it? No, it's internodal.
Is it?
Yeah,
Just
you can
above
see
the
that's a
node?
perfect view
Oh, yeah,
right there.
I
See
see.
right there, as you can see, it's
Yes,
branching
right.
from the white, not the black. So internodal, I would
That-
guess something like Keratoisis would be my best guess if I went to a genus.
Nice.
And then let's get a money shot on the purple coral. That
Yep.
would be really great.
Victorgorgia?
Yep.
Yep.
Nice.
Kainalo, I'm
Please
not
zoom in,
going to go to
please.
genus on that. Let's
Yeah,
just leave it as
no
Chronoids.
worries. Thank you.
Thank you.